Hey, welcome to the Nocturnal Space Workshop. I'm Trezh. Sometimes when you're in the middle of a project, like for example you're painting a Space Marine army or a Chaos Space Marine army, you get a little bit bored painting the same colour scheme and the same kind of miniatures over and over again and over and over again. Sometimes you just want to take a break from that and paint something else, not because it's part of an army or even part of a project. You just want to paint something just for the joy of painting something. Especially when you receive a miniature in the post that you've been waiting to arrive and you get kind of excited and you just want to put everything else to one side and concentrate on painting that one thing. Before painting it, I want to put him on a base, but if I get the camera in focus, he's kind of on a bit of a slant, he's leaning forward, so I need him to be standing more upright. Just letting the base coat dry now. This is just to get the base colours down. I'm going to highlight and get into the recesses to add some shading. Just different colours, picking it out by random. I didn't have a plan, is what I'm saying. I made it up as I went along. I had no idea what colours I was going to do. Just picked it out with the colours that felt nice to me at the time. And yeah, I'm happy with how it's turned out so far. One thing though, the little hourglass that he's holding, I decided to put the empty side on the bottom and the full side on the top, so it looks like it's actually flowing backwards. I forgot to mention, I'm assuming that if you're watching this you already know where the miniature's from. Trent Holbrook on his channel is doing a permadeath vlog series, and so he's got this permadeath miniature which is for this permadeath series. So this miniature is only available while the permadeath series is going. The day he fails to upload a vlog, the entire series, the entire YouTube channel is going to get deleted, and also this miniature will no longer be available. The surplus ones that have not sold, they're going to be melted down, and the cast is going to be thrown away, and you're never going to have this miniature available again. Okay, there's been things in the past that I haven't bought, and then later I've been like, oh, I wish I'd bought that, and then it's too late, it's no longer available. And something like this, it just seemed like a fun thing to get involved with, and I'm not in a position where I can sort of support people through Patreon and that kind of thing, so just buying a one-off miniature, that's a way that I could actually show support for a channel that I enjoy, and at the same time I do actually get something from it as well, as the enjoyment of the YouTube channel. I get to paint a miniature that I find kind of cool. So that's the permadeath miniature. If you haven't already, go buy your own, because one day they're going to be gone. So there are some areas, like here on his back, where because I haven't used an undercoat, the paint's kind of rubbed off as I'm applying this wash. That only happens on some areas and not on others, but that's fine because I can just go in and reapply it. So I'm going to be doing highlights next anyway, so as I'm doing the highlights I can reapply anywhere where it's rubbed off. I know what you're thinking, wouldn't it have been quicker and easier to just undercoat it? Well, maybe, but it's my hobby, so shut up. Now the paint has dried, I think I've changed my mind about the colour scheme. I think the head crest, that should be more like it's marble or coral or something like that. Porcelain maybe. But rather than metallic, I think it should be more of a stone colour. His clothes, I think that should be maybe a blue, I'm not quite sure. And his skin, rather than the greeny blue, I think that should be more of a pinky colour. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to treat the base colours as kind of like a shading colour. So they're going to contrast the actual colour, which I'm going to stipple over the top now. So if I stipple blue over the top of the red will create like a dark contrast shade in the recesses, and likewise pink over the top of the greeny blue, and then a white stone porcelain chalky colour over the top of the metallics. Where I've painted the gold on the metal parts, I'm going to go with like a silver colour over the top of that, but again stippling, so then that will leave in the recesses the gold colour, so it should look like a kind of rust. So it's going to look like it's got rusty metal weapons, then a stone head crest, and yeah, blue clothes. Got little skulls on his belt, I don't know if you've seen that. That's the first layer of highlights done. As I was painting, I changed my mind about the skin tone. I decided the green actually goes really well with the blue. I don't know, I think the green against the red kind of clashed and didn't really work, but the green with the blue, I don't know, it kind of goes together. It works. I like it. So I'm going to stick with that, I think. I don't know, I may change things again. I'm just going to carry on and play around with it a bit more. I'm not quite sure what to do with the eye in the middle. I'm calling it an eye. It's a orb. It's a sphere thing. I think that now I've made the decision to keep the green skin and then the blue robes, I think the eye, maybe that should be a purple or red colour. So I'm going to play around. He's also got a necklace. I need to decide on a colour for that as well. Maybe I can do it all black. I don't know. I'm going to play around. I've not decided. You've seen the thumbnail. You know what it ends up like. I have no idea what I'm doing. I never do. Now that I've given it another wash, which I use a spray so that the last time I gave it a wash, obviously took off some of the layers of paint and exposed the metal. So in order to avoid it, I used a spray this time. And now I'm just going over with another quick highlight of the new colours, and then I'm going to go over with an extra highlight with the new colour. New colour? The lighter colour. You know how highlights work. The stippling didn't really work on the headdress part. I think that's because I was doing it over the gold. Normally I'd do it sort of an off-white over the top of a light brown, something like that. But over the gold, I think the gold sort of didn't really work so well with the wash to blend into the white. So I'm just going to go over that more thoroughly with the white, well, off-white, and then I'm going to give it another quick wash with my little bit of a muddy brown wash, and then I can go ahead with some highlights. Again, I know I've already said it, but I really am just making this up as I go along, so I don't know what I'm going to do next. I'm just going to keep playing around with paint until it looks how I want it to look. Well, not how I want it to look, because that implies I actually know how I want it to look. I don't know how I want it to look. I'm going to play around with the paint until it looks in a way that pleases me, if that makes sense. Just going to keep moving paint around until I think, you know what, that'll do. That'll do. Yeah, because, you know, it don't matter. Just painting miniatures for fun. That's the important part. Having fun. Well, I think that's done now. I really have enjoyed just painting something just for the fun of it, not because it's part of a project, or, you know, it's not like I was doing it for a competition or anything like that. And thanks for hanging around, and you know the drill, click like and subscribe, or drop an emoji in the comments, you know, just feed the algorithm. Now, I'm not on any social media, so check out the website, that's handmaderockets.com, and do something creative just for the fun of it, even if it goes wrong, especially if it goes wrong, because that's how you learn. It's literally how science works. It's not flawed or defective. It's what makes it unique, just like you. Remember, you're perfect just as you are, and people love you. So look after each other. And look after your pets, because they love you too. Here's a gallery. Sorry, I was forgetting. It's the permadeath mini, so now I've finished painting it, it's time to scrub it off again. Nail varnish remover, that's high acetone, miniature, in a bowl. You just give it a scrub. Now it can just go back in its box as if nothing ever happened.